This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
Ruh-roh.
Oh.
Hello, heels and baby faces. This is Big Mike.
This is Tommy.
Along with Tommy, and I don't know where JC went. So, welcome to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
We're going.
Apparently, we're getting some technical difficulties right off the bat.
Did you guys start without me? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
we weren't sure, so I kind of did a soft opening.
Oh my God. I'm like, the music is going and it just stops in the middle. It's like, oh shit. Hi, welcome heels and baby faces to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What? That was gold. That was 100%
That has never
gold.
happened before. And yeah, now the chat's not going to pop up for me either. So, Jesus Christ. This is
Okay,
gonna be
well,
a fun
Jason
show.
already said perfect intro.
Yes. Fun stuff. Thank you everyone for joining us on this week's episode. I don't even have the music playing.
Sorry, JC threatened not to come out right before the show started.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's what Sean Ross Sapp reported. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's looking to clarify if that's true or not.
Yeah, by the way, my window, real glass. Just letting you guys know. Okay?
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Christ.
Cry me a river. Thank you everyone for joining us. Obviously, if you've so I can't see any chat right now. I'm up.
All right, we got you. Oh, we got better.
Great. Y'all can talk all this shit about me. I won't even see it until I check it out. So, thanks a lot. Today we are going to recap
Tina's
AEW All In.
Okay, she's saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
AEW All In and Impact Emergence, and then we will also preview WWE Payback and AEW All Out, from All In to All Out. Hey, how that works, right? So, but obviously we need to begin today with sad news that I thought we were dealing with one passing. Obviously, we did our show last Wednesday, the day Terry Funk passed away, and woke up the next morning to the shocking news that Bray Wyatt passed away. Real name Windham Rotunda. So it's just a shock. At such a young age, at the age of 36. Obviously had been on and off TV pretty much since COVID started. And the Fiend gimmick, whatnot was going. Uncle Howdy was somewhat coming back. And long story short, he had complications from dealing with COVID, was dealing with some hard issues with that related to it. And at the young age of 36, suffered a heart attack and took his life. Which the saddest part about it is he leaves behind I don't remember if Jojo and him were married yet. They were engaged.
I thought them hearing say they had not officially been wed, that they were still engaged.
But they had 2 kids together. And that's... Oh, man, this is just crazy. The outpouring of support is unbelievable.
Across all the entire wrestling world.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, when he passed... When John Huber passed, Luke Harper... he went on social media talking about, I thought we were going to be doing this stuff like old in the indies, still doing the Wyatt family thing. And now the man that was the leader of it, he won't even get to do that when he's old and gray. It's just crazy. I think the most emotional thing from watching too was all the tributes this week is just from the 10 bell salute on stage. You had Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan consoling each other because, it was them along with Harper and Wyatt who were the start of the Wyatt family. So it's just,
crazy. Because Strowman came later.
It's really 2/3 of the original.
There's the original. Then they brought Strowman in, as the black sheep, whatever they did. So, but yeah, I mean,
it just really sucks for Rowan. I mean, like professional wise, because those were like his 2 running buddies for years, and now it's like it was bad enough. He was bad enough that Harper, Brody Lee, whichever one whenever you want to give him, was gone. Mm-hmm. Then Bray, now it's like I don't even want to hazard to guess where his mindset is, because that poor guy, has been through more crap in the past couple of years than I think most people have, and that just sucks. That I feel for him, man. He must be going through it, bro.
And it's kind of strange too because I feel like he's the one we know least about.
Yeah,
He's not one that's out on social media or kind of gets a lot of attention, unfortunately, until things like this happen. Then he kind of gets brought up, and it sucks. It's happened twice within such a short amount of time. But
yeah. And I was excited to see where the character goes. I always loved his creativity. I loved his mind for it. It felt like it was a character where, as controlling as Vince was on things, this is one he was willing to just let go a bit. The kind of stuff he was doing, the Firefly Funhouse, everything. Although I'm pretty sure Pete Lamp had all of Vince's fingerprints all over that dumb crap scene and everything. But
now I do remember when the first time they did the Firefly Funhouse, and that's why it's Brooks. Sorry, and they were like talking backstage like Seth Rollins and
Claudio,
and like Seth just stops Claudio mid sentence, goes, "What is going on here?" And I love they fast forward to the end of it, and he's like, and like they're both like, that was so creepy. I didn't expect that. And Claude's like, no, me neither. I love how he created something so crazy. Even pro wrestlers were like, yo, that's weird.
Do you guys have a favorite moment or memory or match that stands out from Bray Wyatt's short career? Something that you stand with, and this is for y'all in the chat too as well. Something that you're gonna remember the most when you think of Bray. What match or promo or anything stands out to you?
I think there's one that just always kind of made me be like, ooh, that's a little. Was the one where they had like the kids choir around the ring singing like he's got the whole world.
Yeah,
because there's just something about horror movies with like possessed little kids.
Yeah,
and I mean they had a lot of moments like that. Also, like both Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan at the time having kind of similar stories of kind of joining the Wyatt family and then eventually breaking out of it. Those were kind of fun in different times. So I don't know, like they said, it was a creative character in all its variations. And it's also okay to say that sometimes, it fell flat for a little bit or didn't quite hit, but he was always inventing. He was always pushing the envelope, trying things that, most people aren't trying to do. So
yeah, he was actually trying to do something new and different, which I thought was always cool.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So.
Favorite moment for me was like, I mean, I loved all his promos, but I think like him actually winning the WWE Championship was really cool. That was actually one of my favorite pictures. It's him like I think he's like mid swing with it, and it's like if someone gets captured a photo of him like holding it like that, and because like that catch of the Sister Abigail from the Phenomenal Forum was like just classic. So and I do remember that there was a story that was AJ's and Cena's idea was for him to pin both of them. Like they wanted him to go over, and he wanted to pin. And they wanted him to pin both of them to do it. I always like stories like that where it's like the guys who are essentially the mega stars are like, okay, we've made it. Let's let somebody else do it. It's like the same with Daniel Bryan with Kofi Kingston, and with Bray, it's just like. And he had just had that moment with the Undertaker, like not even 6 months ago.
The true passing of the torch moment. Like, I mean, Taker had a long, illustrious career, and we're thinking, okay. I honestly, I thought, okay, the WrestleMania after Taker had his first WrestleMania loss to Lesnar, it was 31, is in San Francisco. You figure, okay, he's wrestling Bray. Maybe this is gonna be the time that Bray kind of be passed that torch over because Taker's getting up in years, and Undertaker ended up winning that match, and so it was like, okay, but then you finally had, at least, we finally got that, okay, he's ready to pass that torch on. This is the new Phenom. This is the new creepy guy, So I will say he's definitely had one of the most memorable entrances of modern times, for sure. So, and then I'll share this picture. We all saw this. We were all there. This is from WrestleMania 32. We were, of course, there at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
Not the largest paid attendance for a wrestling event in the world anymore, but it is the largest announced attendance, I guess I could say. I don't know. So, but still, just the Fireflies themselves. I mean, you think back, Mike, 97 Royal Rumble when the Undertaker came out for his match against Vader. the lighters. You know, we saw the
Yeah.
Alamo Dome
Well,
lit up
well,
with lighters and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a different thing back then because these are all like lights from our cell phones, right?
Right.
Back then it would, like you said, it would have been lighters, would have been a huge thing, and then also, you got a lot more flash photography back then in the background of
Yeah.
photos because everyone's actually taking them with the camera. This is cool because everyone has a phone, even at that time. Jesus,
Mhm.
what? It's almost 7, 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
So you can just see that whole thing lit up.
Yeah, but those things happen organically. Like the Undertaker with the lighters, it wasn't like WWE started handing those out at
Oh, right,
shows.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
people had those in their pockets. I mean, back
Yeah, and they
when
just realized.
back when everybody was smoking, right? And people light it up. I mean,
Yeah.
we you took a lighter into the show at 90. We were 13 years old. What 14? I don't know how old we were. 15, 16. Holding the lighter up for Undertaker's entrance back in the 90s. And now, like you said, yeah, I don't think they expected people to be having their cell phone lights out with Bray's entrance, and it became
Right.
something the fans just got into organically, and he called it his Fireflies, like
Yeah.
from there. So
Jason says Bray's last match in San Antonio, which I think had to be the Rumble, right?
No, what he's saying is that was his last match. Like that was the last match he had.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. It was the
Yeah, like
Rumble, Mountain
the
Dew,
the dark match,
yeah,
whatever it was called. Yeah,
Lights Out match or whatever.
Lights Out. There it was. There you go. Yeah,
what pay-per-view was that?
It was Rumble. It was Rumble.
Yeah,
Was it Rumble?
It was
Yeah,
the Mountain Dew where it was like,
because I was there for that.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
free
insane.
seats.
Shut up. Shut up. But because who was I talking with about that? I was talking to somebody. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, we're doing the math in our heads. We're like, yeah, that was his actual last match.
Yeah, because then he pretty much disappeared after that for a while.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think there he was. I think in between setting up whatever was going to happen next between him and LA Knight, he got sick, so they took him off TV altogether, and we're just waiting for him to come back. So
Right. And then Burnsy throwing out "Follow the Buzzards" and "Yowie
wowie,
Wowie."
yeah,
His catchphrases, of course, of different eras of himself, really.
yeah.
But
I have loved like like almost everyone has found some way to do the tribute. Like if it's not the armband saying his name, what was it? Friggin' Dijak had like the hurt and heel gloves on. The other night. I was like that. I mean, of course, a lot of people are going to do it, but it's just really cool to see it when it happens.
No,
it's just really heartwarming to remember that this is like a fraternity in a way. It's like everyone's like, it's like the companies can be at odds, but that doesn't mean the wrestlers are. And even then, when something like this happens, even every company that the guy never even worked for was still like, yeah, this sucks. So yeah, let's honor the guy. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those few bright spots when something this shitty happens.
Yeah, I did like what Swerve put on. He said it shouldn't take something tragic for us to come together like this. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and Becky breaking down at the end of Raw, holding up.
Yeah.
Oh man, that hit me way too hard because I was like, damn.
There was a significance, obviously, to the LA Knight. Was it Miz he wrestled that night?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Finn Balor.
We wrestled Balor, but he did a promo on Miz.
He did a promo on Miz, but LA Knight was Bray's last match. Finn was
his first match back in the latest character or the Fiend character.
The Fiend
character,
yeah.
Well, because remember they were supposed to have that match where he was like Bray was supposed to embody Sister Abigail,
right, against the demon.
But then he got sick, so instead of that, we got AJ and Finn finally one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, and that was my thing with Bray. Is like what that Sister Abigail thing have worked, maybe not, but to his credit, he was always trying to do something new. Like he was always trying to do something that was like. Is this going to work? Well, maybe not. But I'm going to do it and see what happens. So, it's like, yeah, let's do that.
And honestly, that initial run coming back with the Firefly Funhouse was so cool and creative of being that like evil Mr. Rogers with little characters, and then the Fiend was like a completely different thing. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Burnsy's also saying respect to Tony for giving wrestlers the time so they can attend his funeral. So there was a lot of changes to Dynamite for travel reasons, but also Tony said if anyone wanted to go to the funeral, they were, allowed to go. So yeah, definitely.
Well, was it Malachi Black who said like he appreciated him to bounce ideas off of? Someone said that like they would bounce ideas off of him, and he said And he said, yeah, just try it, see what happens. He was like one of those guys because he had that creative mind to the point where like, yeah, who wouldn't want to pick his brain and say, hey, do you think this would work? So, but I did like House of Black bringing out the lamp.
Yeah,
that was
really
super cool of them. Yeah, I was. Cause you got to think that especially when he was there, like Malachi and Bray kind of like were not tight, but like would bounce ideas off each other and say, "Hey, we're both dark and foreboding characters. Let's see how evil we can get."
Right.
So and when Malachi left, Bray was like, "Hey, why don't you start a cult in your company? Hey, that's a good idea. Bernie King, you're scary. Want to join?"
Yeah, another sad one in our lifetime. It's crazy. So I'm sure tributes are coming. I guess my question is too is Bo was the Uncle Howdy character. Everyone's pretty sure he was playing that.
Right. Yeah.
Is that something he should continue doing? Like, how do you go from here with this?
I don't know. That's always such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Maybe up to Bo, to talk to him to see if that's something he even want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, because they hadn't really been using Bo previous to that, and I think I'm almost sure they brought him back, and then that's what he was doing. Because there were also people that were insinuating that he was the Fiend at. When was the one where Alexa Bliss came out on the box? Was that the one at the Performance Center a couple years ago? When he faced Orton, I think.
That was at WrestleMania.
Or was that?
Was that at the COVID one in the Performance Center, or was that the year after?
No, that was the year after. But I think that was in the Thunderdome. I don't think was it WrestleMania that happened.
No, when Alexa Bliss turned,
she came out on the box.
That was the first WrestleMania with
people, right?
People post-COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
No. There was like some rumors online that Bo was actually the Fiend at that time because remember he was all covered in a mask.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was that they said he looked very similar, but I don't know. But so I know Bo hadn't been around as much, but you kind of, like you said, we all assume and we're pretty sure he was Uncle Howdy, but I don't know. I think that's something that maybe they would talk with him, talk with his family and friends and some of the other wrestlers, see if they feel that would be something worth doing.
Sad news, but a life taken too soon. Bray, Mr. Rotunda, we are going to miss you. We're going to miss your creative mind, the talent in the ring, the creepy ass freaking backbend walk that I don't know how you pull that shit off, dude. That guy was more athletic than he looked, for sure.
The amount of stretching you have to do for that, because for those who didn't know, I actually took gymnastics as a kid for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. The amount of stretching you have to do to be able to do that flawlessly each and every time is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I think now I could probably still do it, but I'd have to train for like 2 weeks straight of actually stretching out to do it on a regular basis. Like I couldn't just do it now because if I did it now, you guys would have to figure out my address and come have an ambulance get me. And I wouldn't be able to tell you my address. I'd be too busy screaming. So
yeah.
I think I got one more picture here. Oh yeah, I did take this one too. I should share this one. Snap down the jumbotron and walking down. So
man,
that captured everything. So.
I don't know why it was creepier that when Rowan was the only one wearing a mask and not Harper, but it really was. It was creepy when just one of them had a sheet mask on. I don't know why that made it so much worse, but it really did.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. It will be missed for sure. And that's going to be there's just never going to be another character like it. As long as anybody tries, there's just no way.
Nah,
so
there will be people there will be people who will try, but it's just not going to have the same effect.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into the main feature of our show here. We're going to recap the two shows we're going to recap. I'm sure we're going to dive a lot into AEW All In.
Mm-hmm.
The first of what it appears to be an annual tradition now with AEW, as they announced at the end of the show, they're going to be back in Wembley next year for All In. So,
I mean, wouldn't you go back the very next year after that turnout? Hell,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have it written down what the paid attendance was, but
80,000,
81,000,
51, somewhere. Oh yeah.
Jeez. Just to set the record for paid attendance for a pro wrestling event worldwide. Amazing. The crowd was great, I mean, looking at the shots of it, I feel like they could have fit more people. I know obviously they're worried about sidelines with the seats, but
here's what I said. think about this. They packed that stadium in with 3 months notice at
Mhm.
2 months at the very least. They've got a year now. Do you know how many people who probably started saving that night? And
Well,
I'm saying internationally, there are probably people who started saving the night they announced it. It's like, well, this is
Yeah.
our all-in fund. What about my college? What about your college? You were never smart enough to go anyway. So
it was a little bit more than that, though. They announced this, if you remember, like in February or something. They didn't have a card until 3 weeks ago.
no, they didn't. I
No, it was announced a while ago. It
Really?
was.
Unless you're thinking about when ticket sales started. Is that what you're going off of? Like, well, that was a few months ago when ticket sales started?
It was
No,
announced
something else.
because, so first of all, it was like in January, they announced they were coming to England. And
Okay.
everyone assuming it was either going to be the O2, which is the London stadium, I think, like or the arena.
The arena, yeah.
Or something else called something Cottage. I heard this on Cultaholic because I re-listened to a bunch of their stuff. But then it wasn't that much longer that they said it's going to be in Wembley. But this was a while ago. They just never had a card for the long. They didn't announce anything. They basically put the card together like in a month, which AEW kind of does a lot, but it works out, and they put on really awesome shows. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just despite what haters will say.
of course.
Well, I guess we'll just go around and ask what match stood out to you the most out of All In. And I know there's a lot to choose from. You had 11 if you include the two pre-show. Which, by the way, we have a new ROH Tag Team Champions, Better Than You, Baby.
Yeah.
MJ and Adam Cole are Tag Team Champions.
I do have to say-
I'm liking this storyline way too freaking much.
Yeah. I do have to say, for full disclosure, I haven't actually had a chance to watch the whole thing yet.
I did. I got to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have. I mean, I've seen all the results. I've seen tons of clips. So,
Well, what stands out to you, Mike, from what you've seen or what you've clipped, whatever? So,
well, clearly the Stadium Stampede.
yeah.
Just because of the insanity. Sue showing up in an English version of a minivan, which I
Yeah.
heard they call a people mover.
They
The ovation she got too for that
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
you know what it felt like? That's every stadium. That Stadium Stampede in particular. I mean, all of them are special, but this one especially. That one felt like all the years of ECW thrown into exactly one match, and that's what it felt like to me.
And then people, because I kept seeing people, this is really just anarchy in the arena. It's not because they're in a stadium. They were in an arena. They were open. It's a stadium. Like they were expecting the empty football field and those old ones, but it was just a hardcore match through Wembley Stadium.
And I hate. Look, I can nitpick with the best of them, but at a certain point you'll be like, dude, come on. Come on. That is a minor complaint at best. It's a minor complaint. And otherwise, you're just complaining because, dude, it was awesome. And also, those guys all got to be on, like, who would have bet money that Eddie Kingston would ever be on a show like that, except for his most diehard of fans? Guys like me who said, "Oh yeah, he deserves it," and other guys who hated him say he'll never get there.
This they do.
Yeah.
And then also, I did get to see on the 0 hour, whatever it's called, the ROH tag title match. I saw Better Than You, Baby versus Aussie Open.
The kangaroo.
Okay, but the genius of MJF to get over the kangaroo kick, which is just a shotgun drop kick, basically, and then the storyline of the double clothesline and what it played into the final match. It's just like, first of all, the fact that he got it over for so long and the crowd was like, that's a finisher, a flipping double clothesline. But then the way it played into the actual championship match at the end of the night was like, okay,
he's actually really good at this.
Yeah.
And I know we said it after the panel at Superhero Comic-Con, but damn it, why is he so good at this?
Yeah.
It's why I can barely boo him anymore. I just can't do it. And I love how the swerve of that was like, who's going to turn on who? Oh, technically, neither of them did.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll send a message real quick. Yeah. Tommy, what stood out to you on the event, match-wise?
I honestly, a lot of things did. I thought FTR and the Young Bucks was really solid, but Uh, Darby, Sting, Strickland, and Cage was great. But mine probably, aside from the main event, I got to go with Ospreay and Jericho doing a hell of a lot better than I actually initially thought. I can't lie. I thought it was going to be good, but that actually exceeded my expectations. It did. And it was really cool to see Ospreay get that, get that win. I mean, because he legitimately is. He's the only guy who has a victory over Omega, Okada, and Jericho in 2 months. Like, dude, the dude's career trajectory is about to be ridiculous, insane. So yeah.
Oh, okay. This doesn't next count, but you made me think of it because of the names you were saying. Claudio says he wants to be in a G1 before he retires. I saw this on Twitter the other day, so I was like,
I think you shared it with us too.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, yes.
Hopefully, I feel like the only reason it didn't happen this year is because A, he's still RH World Champion. B, the Blackpool Combat Club's been doing all this crap lately. So,
JC, if you thought Jeff Cobb versus Toriano was a hit,
Toriano versus Claudio. Jesus
get
Christ,
ready for Randy Orton and Edge move over. Greatest wrestling match of all time. Here we come.
Toriano versus
that's
Claudio.
the greatest match either, though.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
In
get
the
off topic,
G1
but
championship match too. They're each going to win their own
about
blocks.
that,
For sure. So yeah.
Oh God! If Toriano ever even wins a block of the G1, the collective internet might just have a heart attack.
Well,
I can't wait. I love chaos.
Bernsey says Stadium Stampede and Chris versus Will were his suck and duck and quack quack match of the night.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Those are two solid choices. But like, I really do think like the Stadium Stampede was just like I have a feeling like I have what was written on the board for them was the same thing written on for the scenes in Cabin in the Woods. There is chaos on every screen. So, and why does every time Eddie Kingston go to the back and walk out with a purpose, he is carrying something that is intent for actual murder? Yeah. I'm like, how did you get that?
That's his thing. Like, you just got to come out from the back. And also, despite whatever might have happened around it, Joe versus Punk was good.
I actually did thoroughly enjoy that match. The fact that it ended with a Pepsi plunge really surprised me. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, all that, yeah. I mean, I expect that to be well. You're going on first to start that off for sure. Right. So
it really did feel like justification, like not justification, and honoring for everything that they did for ROH in the first place. It's like, like at max they probably wrestled in front of what, 2,000 people at the most, but now they got to wrestle against, maybe, and even that's maybe inflating the numbers some, but now they actually got to wrestle on like one of the biggest pro wrestling stages of all time. I mean, you can't do much worse than that.
As for me, a couple things stand out. First of all, Saraya winning the women's championship.
Yes,
but most importantly, making the entrance with her entire family.
Yeah,
when Fighting With My Family came out, Tina and I actually went back and watched the original documentary. Before we went to see the movie, just to see what it was based, and just to get to know, like, actually knowing her family. So when they came out, I instantly recognized them. Like her real life brother actually makes a cameo appearance in Fighting With My Family too, as well. Yeah. So, but yeah, just seeing that and the coffin match. The finish of that coffin match was just cringe, but coffin drop to finish. I thought Swerve's hands were going to get cut off. I swear to God, he's in that damn thing sticking his fingers out. I was like, creepy.
But if it was Swerve, he's probably like, it's at Wembley. It's a worthy sacrifice. Yes. And of course, real quick before we move on, before that, when they came out, the entrance was first of all hilarious because Prince Nana is a national treasure and must be protected at all costs. But also he came out in Jimmy Rave's crown jewel jacket, which I was like, oh, that's the jacket.
Yeah,
that's the jacket. Damn it. So yeah.
But I do want to ask Mike, have you gotten to that match on the show yet or no?
What's that?
The Darby Allin and
No, I haven't got it. I just got the first couple.
All right, I wanted to ask your thoughts on Sting's entrance or persona that he brought back.
The Joker Sting?
Yes.
It's fine. Like, it was weird because Crow Sting, was so quiet and didn't talk for the longest time, and then when he kind of like kept the paint but went there, and I mean, Dark Knight was such a huge thing. It's not a big deal to me. It's just like if you're gonna do that, then you have to back it up, and he does by doing ridiculously insane.
Yeah,
Like
but
I you know, we joke about sometimes thinking back, like, you know, to our past. Like, could you imagine being here? I can't imagine watching 1992, you know, pre Nitro Sting in a surfer buzz cut, that all that face paint, thinking, you know, when he's 60 something years old, he's going to be jumping off, basically, you know, pulling a Terry Funk later in his career, just doing hardcore crazy stuff.
yeah,
Not where I thought it was going to go, but highly entertaining.
Look, I'll say this: if there was an ever random way that Bray Wyatt was still around, and a Firefly Funhouse match came up and brought in Darby Allin and Sting, and they both looked like Surfer Sting personas, you imagine Darby with that hair and everything like
Yeah.
that would have been pretty funny. So, just a thought to think about. So,
would have been a great multiverse of madness type of match.
yeah, for sure. So, all right. And none of us mentioned, of course, the main event. I will say it's always difficult to book partners against each other for
Yeah.
a championship,
Yeah,
let alone partners that just won a tag team title the earlier in the night. But for them to bring that storyline full circle, the whole double clothesline thing, how the match was booked, I was very impressed with. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us were wondering about who's going to turn here, who's going to turn there. Roderick Strong even getting involved and getting pissed off when Adam Cole didn't pull the victory off. So what's going on there, you know? So what were you gonna say, Tommy?
I that's what you pretty much said it. It was like I was just so impressed that they managed to make that legitimately interesting, like the entire time.
Yeah.
The freaking double clothesline. The fact that they called the spot before they did it loud enough for everyone to hear. Double clothesline. And what the hell? Why? How is this MJF so? Okay, I don't understand what's happening anymore.
And then he really went babyface afterwards.
Yes.
Like, what is this all it
Yes!
needs to be? Fine. Turn on me then. Is that all you want?
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't understand how we got here.
Look, he's either gone babyface or playing 4D chess, and either way, I'm impressed. So
exactly. Even if this is 4D chess, it's like, dude, you're a master at it. Oh my god.
But even in the post-show press conference, someone asked him what he thought thinking going into the stadium, and he's just worried about. Well, I was concerned because none of y'all believe in a dentist about what the stench was going to be. He said that the person, and then Adam Cole's just cracking up. It's like, you know, face heel faces back and forth. It's great how he does this, you know.
Now I do believe that the laughs of Adam Cole aren't kayfabe; they're legitimate. He's like, okay,
yeah.
It's like whenever MJF makes him laugh, that's actually a real laugh.
Yeah, I believe.
He's probably like, oh, thank God I can laugh at these because that's hilarious.
What's up, Sean? We see you in the chat there,
Sean.
buddy. Good to see you.
All right. As far as our pick results go, I went 6-4. Tommy 7-3. Mike 9-1.
Yeah.
What was the one he missed?
I even remember when it happened, but it was
Let me see here.
It was the Bullet Club Gold versus the Elite
Golden League.
Yeah. We all took Takeshita Bullet Club Gold and Golden Elite won. So yeah, that was the only one Mike missed. And we all. Huh?
Bullet Club won.
It was the other way.
Oh wait,
we picked Golden Elite.
We picked Golden Elite.
Bullet Club won because Takeshita pinned.
No, I'm sorry. The one you missed was the Stadium Stampede.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was mixing it up. Sorry.
I picked. Yeah. No, you're right. I did because I thought I was going to flip around it all out.
Yeah, we all picked Blackpool Combat Club and Santana Ortiz, and then that's losing. So that's the only one Mike missed.
Yeah.
By the way, props to Orange Cassidy. Like Taipei Deathmatch went.
Yeah.
Well, for those who don't know me or don't know this about me, the Taipei Deathmatch, the original one between Ian and Axel Rod, is actually one of my favorite kind of segments in ECW because it was so much chaos before the match even started that I loved everything around it. Like because there was this whole Bill Alfonso being like a jackass commissioner, not letting things slide until he left the building, and then Todd Gordon said, "Oh, okay, in that case, let's start the Taipei Deathmatch," and he got out the ring. So,
Sean, we're doing good. Thanks for asking, buddy. Hope
we're hanging in there,
well.
man.
Thank you. All right, so WrestleCast ratings for this 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December. I'm gonna go first since I had the least amount of correct picks, and I'm gonna say a 4.5 on this one. There's some matches like some that just kind of got stuck in like the women's match. Why was it not even 10 minutes long?
That's true.
That kind of really bothered me a bit because you had some of these other matches, and granted they were great, but they're running 20 minutes. That just a 6-man tag, Blue Cup Gold and Golden Elite was 20 minutes and stuff like that, and then Osprey and Jericho only got 15. But I don't know. I thought the women could have gone longer. And I feel like, hey, maybe it's because it was a short turnaround, but now you got a year. Really build this up to make something huge of it.
I feel like they can really
yeah.
do a little bit.
And to that point, like it's pretty well known, and people across all forms of internet wrestling community say like AEW needs to book their women's division better and give it more chances for big stuff. Like they have matches at times, and they'll main event a Dynamite or a Collision here and there, and then you get to this, and there's one match, and it's a 4-way. You had other matches that could have been on there.
A lot, and it's not only that, but you have Soraya, who hasn't wrestled in her home country in God knows how long, who at one point didn't think she'd ever wrestle again, and you could have made something huge of that celebration too, like make something a big moment of that in her home country.
Also, given the storyline they did, it really made no sense that they put the belt on Sheeta for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Tony Storm was the champ, and that's who Saraya pins, and there's a whole fallout with the Outcast. Why not keep her champ? Not give Sheeta this unnecessary run that makes it look like you don't care about her, and then have that fall out with Tony Storm. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I, with respect, disagree.
Okay.
I mean, and I felt like this. I've seen this complaint on the internet a lot of why I put it. I feel like it's twofold. A, to have her get that one over Tony Storm, because then we got this Tony Storm storyline of her being this Hollywood-esque, diva all of a sudden, which I didn't know I wanted until I saw it, because that started because she started doing that like right away, and also it just lets Sheeta just walk in as the champion to the ovation she's deserved for the past couple of years. So yes, there was a short title reign, but then again, as a person who likes title reigns and likes looking at them, you always get the ones that last a long time and have all this stuff behind them. Then you have ones that are just short for whatever reason. Maybe it's like a person's just winning for whatever reason. And I feel like Sheeta's win was to, like I said, start that storyline with Tony Storm, because then that way it gets it going already by the time you get to Wembley, and B, it lets Sheeta walk into that cheering crowd of her as champion, with because she really did help carry the division during the pandemic.
She did, and I get that, but I don't like the flip-flopping titles so quickly. Like they do it with a lot of their belts, and they have
just a transitional champion.
saying,
yeah,
that's basically what she was. And
yeah,
I don't know. I slightly disagree with you, but that's fine.
I would say they do it a lot, unless you're talking about the TNT title.
Well,
which,
no,
my God, I
can't
believe Christian Cage has had it this long. I mean, because God knows he earned it every step of the way.
Also, real quick, Sean, we talked about Bray Wyatt at the beginning, so we're in the same boat as you, and that's an interesting point. He also asked, speaking of the women, they showed Mercedes Moné a lot. And the big thing,
and I didn't see it live, but where were we that day? I think we were out and about because my dad was in town.
I didn't see it later either.
But Tina, I get an alert on Bleacher Report. Mercedes and Money's in the show. I was like, what?
I mean, I feel like she's got to be at least partially in AEW if you're going to show her that much. I
thought she was going to still get involved after the women's match. Was she going to have a hand in it? Was she going to confront the?
She would have had to Shawn Michaels down to the ring, though. So.
Yeah,
and I don't know if she's still injured or not, because she injured her foot a couple months.
That's that title match with
that's why what's her name Willow won the belt in the first place, because Mercedes was injured. So I don't know if she's cleared yet. And also, apparently she's a fan of the Acclaim, because even Boaz put it out Mercedes throws the scissors. So.
Yeah, first of all, the Acclaim's rap was great. The funny part is took a shot at Prince Andrew.
No, I was gonna say
took a shot at Meghan Markle. quiet. And then I forget what he said after that, but that got the crowd back, luckily.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy, what is your rating for the event?
I'm gonna say 4.85.
Okay.
It was really good. It wasn't quite perfect yet, but it was better than average. And I got a fat and I think Meltzer said this one time with his match ratings that he factors in the crowd. I got to factor in the crowd for this, man, because they were hyped from the opening of the pre-show to the end of the night. That crowd was hyped, whether they were cheering or booing. I mean, I love the dead even split of FTR and Young Bucks. I also, I'm terrible for this. I kind of enjoyed the grief they were giving Cash a little bit. I don't know if you heard what they were chanting at him.
Something.
Cash has got a gun. Cash has got a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And someone had a sign that said "Fear the Revolver."
I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, the UK ain't got no chill, bro."
I mean, it was a soccer stadium for crying out loud. You know, they're crazy.
Yeah. They don't care. They will insult you. They don't give a damn.
All right. Mike, you got a rating for All In?
I'm actually going to refrain. I might come back next week once I fully go through the whole show. I'm sure it'll be somewhere around you guys, but I want to kind of see the whole thing and let it play out. And so I'll refrain at the moment.
Okay.
But I may revisit it and let y'all know next week.
All right.
Cool.
Whoops. Hold on a second.
Whoa! Worst show ever.
No, I
Man.
forgot to. I was trying to edit it and I hit the wrong button. Jesus. We're having all sorts of technical difficulties here.
Jason, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Because Jason just said that Tony announced Ricky Starks is challenging Ricky Steamboat in a strap match at All Out.
This must have been like a post.
I guess so. It must have been something because I don't think that was during Dynamite.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, current rating for All In 4.675, pending what Mike's going to rate it.
Yeah.
On XO on Twitter. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm still calling it Twitter. All right.
Yeah. Everyone calls it when you share links. The link share still says Twitter. So I mean, come on.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
This X thing, Jesus. Like, did Elon join the Nation of Islam or something? What the fuck is going on here? So,
Wow.
But they let him in.
All right.
Before we move on, I think we need to do our little promotion for the con because there's a new announcement we got to make.
Give me a minute to pull the graphic.
Well, it's okay. Well, let me throw something up there.
Okay. If you want to share it, go for it. So.
Well, I don't have the full picture that you usually share, but I do have something interesting. As you know, Countdown City Geeks is a big part of CadabraCon, which is now coming up in just about a month. It's at the end of September. Mm-hmm. And Legacy of Nerd, our good buddy who is in our show most of the times and was at the last Mission Pro, shared with us. Oh, come on, pull up.
Let you pull it up if you can.
Let me see. Okay, hold on.
We have advertising in our show now. Hey.
Yes, we do.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. Can y'all see this?
Let me share it. Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
Tickets are on. There's a discount for. I think it's 20% off of the con. So use the special word legacy when you're buying tickets for CadabraCon, and I think it's like a 20% discount.
Nice.
Using the
Nice.
The special word legacy. So yeah, that's for Legacy of Nerd. So if you're interested in going in again, the tickets for those, even for the 3 days, are really reasonable because it's in a small place. But as you've seen the things the people that are going to be there, the voice actors, all the Power Rangers and stuff. It's gonna be fun, especially if those are your areas of interest. And there's a discount on the tickets now, so there you go.
Yep.
CadabraCon, you see all the voice actors, some of the Star Wars people, Power Rangers, and like I said, most of the Countdown City geeks and our supporting pages will be there, doing a lot of the different interviews, the different panels, and just involved. I think they have a table in space. So there you go. Now there's a discount. Use the word legacy at checkout. Get a discount. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Which, by the way, 30th anniversary of the airing of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, just this
30
past
years.
week.
Yeah.
30 freaking years. I was 5.
Yeah. So I shared it again, but I had a memory on Facebook today from 10 years ago going, wow, School of Rock is 10 years old. That's crazy. It is now 20 years old, and I don't know what time is anymore. So
You guys feel old yet? Yeah.
yeah.
Time is a constant reminder.
Real quickly, just want to
My back.
mention the results from Impact Emergence. If you guys haven't been able to check already, some of the highlights here: Eric Young defeated Diener. MK Ultra defeated the Death Dolls and the Chantarage to hang on to the women's tag team knockouts tag team championships. Kenny King retained the Impact Digital Media Championship over Johnny Swinger. And we have new Impact World Tag Team Champions. The Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz defeated Subculture to win the titles. Yes.
That was a short task title reign too. Damn.
Eddie Edwards defeated Frank Kazarian in a back-to-school match that didn't even last 5 minutes. I need to go back and watch that to see if this was just a
I wish
5-minute
my
pencil
back
fight.
to school lasted 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
Sonata defeated Jake Something. Bully Ray, Brian Myers, Leo Rush, and Moose defeated Josh Alexander and the Time Machine. And then finally, Trinity defeated Deonna Purrazzo to retain the Knockouts World Championship.
Wait, where was their 8-person multi-man?
Believe it or not, they didn't have that.
What?
Yeah.
How could you call yourself an Impact show if you did not have a at least 6-person or plus multi-person match?
Well, you know what? That's what
They just had.
the-
They just had Multiverse United, so maybe hey, the guys are trying. I guess.
Well, they had the knockouts tag titles, and that was like 4 teams.
That was
so,
that was a 3-team. Yeah. So,
3 teams. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Only 3 teams.
Oh no, it was 4 because they had.
Oh no, it was 4. That's right.
Yeah,
Dirty Thread,
Dirty
Kelly
King,
King. Yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Alright.
4. That was a 4.
Kind
Oh
of
no,
close.
wait, and then there was the 8-man tag team match. So that,
Yeah,
that
but that was you know,
But that's as close as we were gonna get this
right,
show.
Yeah.
So.
right. I'm
We'll see
watching
when we
this
talk
back.
about Victory Road next week. See what they got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's
Don't
like
worry, Mike.
There's
Mike.
like 4 of them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Mike, they're gonna make up for it next time.
where would
Like,
you wish for, Mike? If they
Right.
put 4 on it, you got to pick
every
all of them.
match is gonna be. They're gonna have a gauntlet match, a King of the Mountain match, an Ultimate X match, and like a pick your poison.
That's a very monkey's paw type thing. So.
Yeah. Yep.
That's going to be the next Impact pay-per-view, the Night of Scrambles.
And there aren't enough dice in the world to
Right.
make us make these choices.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
If that's what they end up doing one of these days, you know they watch our show. All right.
I want them to do it. Then invite us like live, just like we have to pick at the and like, hey, they invite us, but they won't tell us who's in what match until it starts, and they make us pick as it's
We
going.
gotta
And
pick
by
it
the
live.
way, you know who would be there, Tommy?
Who?
Emily May, because she's in everything now.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she would.
everywhere.
She's really cool,
Crazy.
though.
But she'd probably get us in too, actually. So-
Well, of course, Tommy, because how else would you get the shows if you...
Damn it! It happened only a few times.
I know, but it's fun.
That's true.
All right. Let's talk about the shows happening this weekend. And the first is WWE Payback. Guys, a little bit of trivia. When was the last time we had WWE Payback?
2000... 2012.
No.
2011?
2020.
Oh, there was one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the, I think it was one of the Thunderdome pay-per-views or something like that.
Oh,
or it might have been just
wow.
like a no fans pay-per-view, and they haven't had one since. Yeah.
Okay.
So it just happened to work out this way that they brought
Sure.
Payback back for this one too.
Shows
I
on
think
my
last
pocket.
year this was around the same time where they did Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 So Payback
That was
is
a
back
fun
for the
show,
first time in
man.
3
That
years.
was a really good show.
Yeah, it was.
That was. But this one, I mean, there's only 6 matches at least that's been announced. I mean, 6 isn't a bad number to be honest with you. Although we'll see what they do decide to add on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
And no appearance at all of a Bloodline storyline at all. I don't think it's been a long time since we have seen that not show up on a pay-per-view. Now, like I said,
Yeah,
they could add
SmackDown.
something, on SmackDown. But as of right now, there's 6 matches on the card. And I got to be honest with you, the first one we're going to talk about might be the most compelling story out of this whole ordeal.
Yep.
And that's LA Knight versus The Miz. Now, for all the crap people give about Miz, he is not bad at doing impressions of his opponents.
He's underrated. With his acting actually is very underrated. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
I think he just did LA Knight. He's done John Cena while Maurice was doing Nikki Bella at the time. Who else did he do? Someone put a graphic up, and I can't remember all of them.
He did. Oh yeah, I saw that graphic. I can't remember who else it was, but yeah. Who was it? Damn it! I think I shared it, but I can't remember who else it was.
The funny part about it is that LA Knight didn't do too bad of a Miz impression himself last Friday.
Yeah.
You know, but
that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty funny. Sorry, my voice is too high. LA Knight. I was like, oh damn. I was like, I remember thinking the disrespect.
But with the hype that LA Knight is getting, do any of y'all think he's losing to the Miz this weekend?
No.
That's what I said. That was my pick with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, but even if he does, let's say he does, that's gonna do nothing but add to the story.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the story's gonna be pretty good already, but like I don't see him losing. I don't. And apparently someone pointed this out. The Miz has been on quite a kind of a loss streak this year, and it's like, and this is what I said immediately. Mike already knows where I'm gonna go with this. It's like, no, he's not. He hasn't lost once this year. You know why? He's still married to Maurice. That man ain't taken a loss in about how many years they've been married? No, that man has not lost yet.
I think Matt Cardona posted of his promo of The Miz, this is the best thing he's done outside of married Maurice.
And you have to think that just made The Miz laugh. He's just thinking, Cardona, you jackass.
Yeah.
But you're right. So
yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's like, oh man, The Miz has been losing so many matches. Yeah, but he won at life, so who really gives a damn? So
he may not win another match again, but he's married to Maurice, right?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And like we've said already, and yeah, he may not win many matches anymore. Dude's going in the Hall of Fame sooner rather than later, and everyone might as well accept that. It's just gonna happen. So.
All right, on the card next, Steel Cage match, aka the match that should have happened at SummerSlam, but they got rid of this one for some stupid Mountain Dew crap. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. It is Steel Cage. It's funny how honestly, like
it was C4, by the way.
It was C4, yeah, whatever. No, there was like a Mountain Dew sponsored Rumble or something like that, Battle Royal.
Yeah, that's
gotcha.
What it was.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So, yeah, like as if I didn't know what drink was being promoted. That. This is another storyline that they've gone through this a lot. They pushed this back, a few weeks because, like I said, it should have been at SummerSlam. But I'm split. I have no idea how I to go with this one right now. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I'm going with Becky.
Mike's going with Becky. Tommy, what about you?
I'm gonna go Becky. I feel like this is, I guess, maybe building up Becky some more. Mm-hmm. And usually I always pick Trish, but I just feel like storyline wise, I'm gonna go with Becky. There's nothing wrong with Trish, mind you. There's nothing wrong with Trish at all. Damn.
I'm gonna take Becky, but I don't know. I just get this gut feeling that this storyline is not completely done yet. I don't know why.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe they pull something up later, but
I mean, where do you go from this? Because this was, I think it was supposed to be a SummerSlam blow-off match.
Mm-hmm.
They push it back. I mean, you could always go back to feuds, but I don't know how long this Trish run is going to continue and last. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's not like she gave us specific dates like John Cena apparently did. So
God.
He'll be on every SmackDown for this specific 5-week period. Oh, okay.
Not doing anything else that time. Yeah. So
guess the strike's affecting us all.
Yeah. All right. Tag Team Championship to be defended in a Steel City Street Fight. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. Tommy, where are you going with this one?
Owens and Zayn, and for the love of God, can this be the end of this feud? But I'm gonna go Owens and Zayn. I feel like Judgment Day is strong enough without this win, and I feel like that it's time to everyone to start moving on to other stuff. So,
all right, Mike.
Here's the thing: I was getting ready when I heard this was coming as a match to pick Judgment Day, because I thought they were going to do the thing where they get all the gold until last Monday. Apparently, Ripley told them, if y'all don't win, if we don't have all the gold by the end of Payback, there's going to be changes next week on Raw. So you can't tease that and not have it be something that happens. So I'm actually going to agree with y'all and go with Owens and Zayn, because I think we're about to, I kind of hate to say this, have another civil war within a faction in WWE. And I think Bloodline's about to explode because JD Madonna's also, don't Google me or whatever, is also kind of circling around that storyline with Balor.
So Judgment Day Hollywood, Judgment Day Wolfpack, or
Yeah,
Judgment Day Firing Squad, and Judgment Day OG.
there's Judgment Don't
Gold.
Google Me Day, and then
Judgment Don't Google.
and then Judgment Day Mommy. I think that's where the split's going to be. So
Actually, I'd buy a shirt with that second one. Anyway,
I have to say Owens and Zayn too. Just this whole rift between Balor and Priest over the fact that he has the briefcase is just, I don't know, it might be a little bit too much. Someone's gonna bad communication, miss time, or cost them the match or whatever. So
yeah.
but I gotta go with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for this. So all right, United States Championship: Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. I'm gonna go with Austin Theory here. Yeah, just because it's Pittsburgh and crazy shit's gonna happen. So, I mean, if this was somewhere like, hometown for Mysterio, maybe a little bit different, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dominic gets involved for.
I'm gonna go with Ray because the biggest dropped ball in the history of recent years is Austin Theory. And granted, some of that goes on Cena for that crap performance at WrestleMania to put him over. But to me, Austin Theory is dead in the water right now. He needs a change. He does not need the U.S. title for like the third time in a year.
Unless he comes out with some whole brand new gimmick, right? So.
Well, I mean, he won't do it at this match. So,
Tommy, what about you?
I'm going Rey Mysterio because there's nothing in me that'll make me pick Austin Theory, even if it was a handicap 3-on-1 match versus Rey, with Austin Theory, Big Show, and Kane versus Rey Mysterio. I would still pick Rey Mysterio because Austin Theory would be on the other team, and I refuse.
Sean, you got to be more specific. I blame Vince. You got to narrow it down. There.
I blame Vince. I blame Vince for things that Vince probably has no physical control over, because I just feel like he does in some way.
Oh, good stuff. All right, Women's World Championship: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Mike, what do you got?
Okay, and this literally just hit me after I made my previous statement. No, because I was actually thinking, I think it's time to put it on Raquel. Her character has gone to such a point that I don't think she needs a title. And honestly, she hadn't been defending it as much because she was kind of so popular in this Judgment Day thing. But I kind of had this thought now, and it also ties into the world title match at the end. So for right now, I'm going to actually pick Rhea Ripley to retain the title.
Okay.
Sean,
Tommy?
I know what you meant. I was just joking about Vince.
Yeah.
Man, this one's hard. I want to pick Raquel really badly. I really do. But I'll go Rhea. I'll go Rhea. Just for, but I want to pick Raquel so bad because
I kind of do too, but
yeah, but I'll go Rhea.
It'll come together at the end.
I'm gonna pick Raquel because you said it when she said if they don't all have the gold. If they don't all have the gold, some changes are gonna be made. What if she doesn't have any gold?
I thought about that too because that is a possibility.
Yeah,
but I have a slightly different possibility, and we'll talk about the end. But I thought about that too, and I wouldn't be mad. Let's say I'm not going to be mad if Raquel wins, to be honest.
Damn it, JC, if you're right.
And it's not like there's a briefcase in play anymore. Io Sky already used that. She's champion
for her.
So there's no like briefcase holding his shoulder. But Raquel coming back, I mean, I feel like she's the only one that can give Rhea a turn for money. And obviously some outside interference will be involved. But if Raquel gets her hands on Dominic Mysterio and just power bombs the shit out of whatever she's going to do during the match, that would be worth it. So
lucky bastard.
Finally,
sorry, what were we talking about?
World Heavyweight Championship: Seth Rollins defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna go with Rollins to retain here. The thing, I feel like this is kind of a holdover match. I mean, Shinsuke, I feel like they haven't given him a serious gimmick in a while. You know, he's just kind of floating
Well,
along here.
they're
So
trying to with some vignettes and some of his stuff, but yeah, you're right.
yeah, so I got Rollins. Mike, what about you?
Okay, I'm going to go with Rollins to retain, but this is where my Judgment Day story comes to an end, and this is where I fear the split comes. I think Rollins retains. I think Priest is going to cash in, and I think he might win. Because then what happens with my picks at that night? Dominic has the North American title. Priest will have the world title. Rhea has the women's title. Who's the odd man out now in Judgment Day?
Balor. Yep.
Finn without a title. JD McDon't Google me on his side. It's a little bit of a long shot, but I think that's where they may go with that. And it just kind of popped into my head as we were going through this. So I'm going to go with Rollins to retain for this match for that setup of the storyline. I think he'll lose it to Priest afterwards. So,
All right. And Tommy, what about you?
I have to do it. I have to go Shinsuke. I'm sorry. I can't not. Whenever he gets a title shot, unless I absolutely am convinced otherwise. Sorry, I gotta go Shinsuke.
All right.
respect it.
Yeah. I accept being fully wrong on this one, but I also don't care. So
All right. Well, how to watch Payback? It is Saturday, September 2nd, 7 p.m. Central Time. The pre-show starting at 6, I believe, 6 or 6:30. Taking place at the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and will be on Peacock within the United States. So, all right. And then finally, we'll talk now about AEW All Out, aka the All In Fallout.
That would have been such a better name.
yeah.
Right.
Just like WrestleMania,
WrestleMania
Payback
Backlash
or Backlash or whatever it was.
Now,
God, I
they're
hated
up
that
to
name.
8 matches on this card. Well, 9 now apparently because they already added another one.
Yeah.
As we just saw. And let me see if that's official. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So, did I have that one already? Which one did he say was added? I'm trying to go back.
Oh no, what they just added was the strap match between Ricky Starks and Ricky Steamboat.
Steamboat.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me list some matches here.
No, it's not on there. It's not on Wikipedia yet.
It's not on Wiki, but one that has been since added on Wiki is Eddie Kingston and Shibata versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Yes.
Oh,
That was just added too as well.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that
Yes!
team on Blackpool Combat Club is Claudio and Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Moxley's
Moxley's facing Cassidy. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
facing Cassidy.
So,
So, yes, all the good things.
Yeah. So, we'll kind of go through this here and pick what has been announced so far. And I guess we could start with the strap match that is mentioned there. Ricky Starks challenging Ricky Steamboat. And my thought is if Ricky Starks doesn't go over, it's like, what the hell are you doing? So, I mean, not to say, Steamboat couldn't hold his own, but.
No, well, that's been Steamboat's thing. Every time he comes back, he puts over the younger talent. Like that time he wrestled Jericho. Like it was him. Just he was amazing, but he was already put over Jericho. And I think he knows that all the time. So
Sure.
it says it's first of all it's Steamboat like saying, well, Sting gets to jump off stuff. I want to jump off stuff. I'm old too. I can still do it. So I'm saying all that to say I'm picking Starks, but I just feel like this is like a lot of these guys are getting one last hurrah in front of a lot of crowds. Like it's like. Think of a guy like Sting. Even he think he'd wrestle in front of like 80,000 ever again, and there he was in Wembley. And, it's like their last hurrah. Thousands of fans screaming for them one last time. And then they either hang it up or go to being producers or whatever they want to do.
I'm sure someone will come out to rescue Ricky. I don't know if it's going to be Punk now, but someone.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's Chicago, it's interesting that so far it's Chicago and Punk doesn't have a match on this one yet. So,
Well, technically he's apparently suspended, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. He'll show up one way or another.
We'll see. I don't know.
I think we're all going Starks then. Is that the consensus here?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. All right. Next one that I just mentioned, Kingston and Shibata versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Mike, I know you're going Blackpool Combat Club.
I mean, I have to, but I'm not going to be at all surprised if the other. I'm contractually obligated at this point, but I mean, I'm literally wearing the Claudio shirt. But yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if Kingston and Shibata win.
All right, Tommy, what about you?
Come on, dude. Really?
Yeah, really.
It's Shibata and Eddie Kingston on one team. It would somehow be sacrilegious for me to go against them. Come on.
I wish I had a jingle for this, ladies and gentlemen. This is our coin flip pick of the night because I have no.
We need to do that for real.
I need to do something. Heads, I go
Come on.
Kingston Shibata. Tails, I go Blackpool Combat Club. Here we go. Oh. And tails, so Blackpool Combat Club for me. I'm joining Mike on that one.
Lone wolf in it. I
Yes.
don't care. This is one of the cases where if I'm wrong, so be it. I don't give a damn. I don't even remotely care.
We know.
All right. Another match that was just announced tonight: Bullet Club Gold versus FTR and the Young Bucks.
I'm going Bullet Club Gold because I think, like you like to say, they're not going to be able to work together because they just had the match and they did a little thing where they were supposed to be backstage at Wembley, where FTR confronted the Bucks because the Bucks were like talking about their loss, and FTR was like, "Hey, we tried to shake your hands, you blew us off," and they were like, "Oh, we were just mad." And then Bullet Club Gold comes in and like mocks them and stuff. But I think they're giving Bullet Club Gold a little bit of a push here. I think you just sow those seeds of the elite kind of on a losing streak, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going Bullet Club Gold too. I mean, you kind of plant the seeds here too of, Bullet Club Gold wins this. Are they working their way into position to get a title shot at FTR, So
probably.
I'm going to go Bullet Club Gold too. Tommy, I assume you're the same thing?
Yeah, I'm the same because I do like that they haven't immediately just given Jay White like all this main event like run power immediately, because for one it feels like I actually just feel like he's having the time of his life because these four are just like being such jackasses and they're just like having so much fun. So
the other three are so over the top. He almost kind of like sits in the background like the one pulling all the strings.
Yeah. So I can't believe I like Juice Robinson as a heel, but I love it. He's just so
he's really eccentric. He's really good.
It really is. It's like he, like you said, he's the mastermind, but like they're like so down for whatever crazy thing he says to do. They're just like, yes. He's like go punch those three guys in the face. Ha! We'll punch 6. And so
yeah.
And again, if you're watching this, feel free to make your picks here. And next one we're going to talk about is two big sweaty men slapping meat. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
big meaty men slapping meat. That's
Tommy, what you got for this one?
That's how I watched wrestling as a kid. I gotta go Miro on this one. I feel like they're still building Hobbs up, but I think Miro is next in line for something big, so I'm gonna go Miro.
Yeah, I'm going with Miro as well. I think that makes the most sense right now.
Let's clean sweep it then.
Clean sweep, all right, sure. All right, Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. This might be Tommy's coin flip match of the week. I don't know, but I guess here's my first question: does Omega finally get his hands on Don Callis?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that either. I really don't. I really don't know. But as far as my pick goes, I'm gonna pick Omega, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's like a severe beatdown after the match. Like he beats Takeshita.
It's like a roll up or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like Takeshita did to him at Wembley. He rolled him up and that got the win that way. And then he rolls up Takeshita and then him and Don Callis just get a screwdriver and just stab him in the head again. Why not?
Real quick, I just saw something, and this may affect the first thing we picked. Tony Khan tweeted that Ricky Starks will appear Saturday on Collision to challenge Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to a strap match.
Oh.
I feel like the way that's worded, it might be almost a bait and switch, if you will.
Like Punk will come out instead,
or something, maybe. So,
interesting. Okay.
Given what we did, if it is Ricky, obviously, if it is Steamboat, they're both Ricky. I realize that. If it is Steamboat, I would say that, yeah. But I just thought that was interesting.
You should have said if it's Ricky, then it's Ricky. But if it's not Ricky, then I don't think it's gonna be Ricky.
That's right. I'm picking Ricky to win that match.
Nice. Can't lose that one. All right, now how about Omega and Takeshita? What do you got, Mike?
I mean, Takeshita pinned him in the trios match. I can't imagine him taking 2 straight L's, unless I think Omega wins this, and then the story continues. I think it leads to some sort of bigger match of theirs.
Oh God! Okada turns heel and joins Callis' family.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. Actually, I kind of want to see that now.
Clean sweep. I'm going with Omega as well. I like you said, he got the pin in the at All In, or right All In, yeah. And then maybe they'll turn around and 1-on-1 and see if they have a rubber match down the road. Some sort of big major gimmick match here.
Agree.
Now, no picks necessary yet on this one, but there's going to be a battle royal on Rampage to determine who's going to challenge Better Than You, Bebe, for the ROH Tag Team titles, also taking place at All Out. So, MJF and Adam Cole are waiting to see right now to see who they're going to be wrestling. And the ROH TV Championship.
Oh, well, I'm still picking Better Than You, baby. I don't care.
Well, I mean, I figure we're all going to, right?
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, right.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, unless it's Blackpool Comic Club. All right, ROH TV title, Samoa Joe defending against Shane Taylor.
The second big sweaty and slapping meat match of the night.
What you got, Tommy?
I got Shane, baby. I'm going Shane all freaking day long, and everyone knows I am a Samoa Joe mark. Everyone knows that. I preach the good word of. Terry jumped in the chat just in time to talk about Shane Taylor. But anyway, everyone knows I'm a diehard Samoa Joe mark. Everyone knows I will preach Samoa Joe all day long. But if you're gonna put, you gotta really work to put someone next to Shane Taylor. Me not pick Shane. I'm sorry. I'm picking Shane all day long on this one. I am. I feel like it is about damn time. So
as am I. We haven't really. You need to get Shane back to what he was before ROH went on this little hiatus, because he had something brewing there huge, and this is a chance to do that, to put some gold on him and let him run with it. So I'm going with Shane Taylor also. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to agree with y'all too, because Joe is Samoa Joe. He doesn't need the ROH title. He's made it prestigious. Like y'all said, Shane Taylor can get this win. Also, he beat Samoa Joe, which immediately legitimizes him to anyone who doesn't know him as well or doesn't think he's legitimate. And you get so much more out of it. I mean, Joe's going to be Joe. Like you said, he's going to have great matches, whether it's the ROH TV title or not. Makes more sense to put it on Taylor and give him a run to really make him something in ROH and potentially cross over to AEW for stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like, real talk though, it's like the people who don't like Shane Taylor are like just legitimately just hating on him for whichever reason they can, because from what I've seen fan wise, the people who love and respect what he's done are way more than people who don't like him. And I feel like this will be the chance to really not justify that love, but really show people see, he's really good, isn't he? We're like, yeah, fine, whatever. So yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next set of title matches here, the TBS Championship, Chris Statlander defending against Ruby Soho. I'm trying to remember, is this Chris Statlander's first defense since she defeated Jade Cargill?
No, she had a couple other ones, yeah.
Okay, she had a few other. But first one on pay-per-view? I don't know.
Yeah, first one on pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, because they went it all in. So
yeah. So, Mike, what are you thinking here?
I got to stick with Statlander. I love Ruby. I'm actually kind of glad she's out of the Outcast, it appears, and that kind of broke up, because I feel like she was just kind of stuck in there. The group was fun for parts of what it was, but I do want to see her kind of get back into a good run, but I can't go against Statlander yet. So,
all right, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm going Statlander as well. I feel like this is the like All In was the beginning of the end of because I don't know if it's officially did they officially break up the Outcast? Did they say that?
It seems well. I don't know if they officially
said on TV, right? So
well, no. So the stuff happened at All In. Tony was on tonight. She did an interview and she's continuing the character you were talking about. The damsel Hollywood, from the 1950s. Ruby walked out of him in that match. Saraya's the champ now and basically did a face turn. So I think for all intents and purposes, they may address it like on Collision, or they may do it like they come out and talk, but I assume they're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going Statlander as well. Clean sweep.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, real quick before we move on, someone tagged me in this on Facebook a little bit ago. Brian Keith, who's been making his name in Texas Indies, is going to be on Rampage, and I think he's facing Hangman. Yeah, he's facing Hangman.
Nice.
So the reason I'm bringing that up is if we can get Keith Lee, because I saw what Terry said, PBK reunion. If we can get Keith Lee, Shane Taylor, JD Griffey, and Brian Keith in a faction, that'll literally be all I want for Christmas. I will forfeit every single gift if we can get those four in a faction. Then that'll be my Christmas present.
What do you call them?
Pretty Boy Murderers. I would still go Shane Taylor Promotions. I don't care. Because that was such a unique thing when he did it that I would still keep Shane Taylor Promotions.
I thought maybe you were going back to older names. So
yeah, no, I thought of that, but I didn't want to say it on the show.
I know you did.
because for one, I think he still forgot what that stands for. Anyway, that'll never not be funny.
Oh, we talked about that on Friday. Yeah, I remember.
Dude, that will never not be funny to me that he did not know what that meant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. TNT Championship, Luchasaurus defending against Darby Allin.
Wait, you said that wrong. What? I thought it was Christian Cage.
Oh, what? Oh,
no. It's yes.
I see what
It's
you're doing
the
there.
joke
Yeah.
of it.
So
So I know that you might
I
not
was like, what did I? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
I know you might not like this, JC. I'm actually going to go with Luchasaurus to retain, probably with shenanigans from Christian, because I think there is so much more you can get out of that dynamic right now of Christian walking around holding the title like he's the champ, but Luchasaurus doing the matches. And Darby kind of made a comment to this. I don't remember if it's on TV or just in an interview, where it's like, he feels like the TNT title's lost some of its prestige because of the way it's been treated. But I like that idea, and I don't think he needs it right now either. So I actually want Luchasaurus to retain to continue the stuff with Christian, because, again, Christian's just one of those vets that, like, no matter what he does, he's just good at it. So
that man got his own daughter thrown out of a building. That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
That was a hilarious little interview.
Go find your mother. Security. She's not credentialed. I don't remember. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Can you imagine his wife behind the camera like, you son of a...
I feel, okay, here's the thing. As a parent, I feel like he's wanted to do that for a long time in his own house. Like, security pointing to his wife, can you get her out and put her in her room or something like that, I mean, I feel like he's been wanting to do that for a while. The fact that he got to do that on TV is just amazing. So,
or maybe one time the wife was like, there ain't no security or AEW backstage people. Take care of your daughter yourself.
Yeah.
And so he was like, ha.
Calls the dog over here to drag the kid back to her room or something like that.
But I legit love just how that whole segment she has. Can I hold your belt? Did you win this? I thought immediately, which did you?
That's why I'm saying I wanted to stay like that for a bit.
It's legitimately one of the it's one of the greatest things Christian's ever done, and he's ready to lift a finger to do it.
Yeah.
All he has to do is carry somebody else's belt, say he won it, and it's the most over thing I've ever
and then oh my god, the memes of like, so I heard you have a dead dad, because who was he talking to in that last one? Nick Wayne. Whose father had passed away, yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good thing your father. I was like, bro, what is it with you and guys' dead fathers, bro? What the hell?
Part of me really hopes the stories about Sexton Hardcastle coming over to AEW, potentially being involved with this, would be just amazing. So
God forbid in like 30 years or so, his daughter is a wrestler and she dies, and like not her, but like Christian dies, and they're like, yeah. You heard you had a dad too. Too bad he's dead, like our fathers were dead.
She's like, God damn it, Dad, you set me up for that.
She's no, she would probably be like, in all fairness, I was waiting for him to die too. He got me thrown out of a building, dude. I was 9.
Look, as entertaining as the storyline is, I'm still gonna pick Darby Allin because
I know
and then Sting, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe Sting will do something with Kirsten Cage on ringside. We'll see. How much involvement there could be with that too. So, Tommy, what about you?
Now this one I'm actually really split on. I really am. But I'll go Luchasaurus because I
Right.
do like this dynamic. It's actually pretty funny.
Can I hold your belt? Did you win this? That's great.
Did
I
you
love
win
that.
this? I was like, what the hell? Did you? I don't remember that match.
All right, and finally, which quite frankly, this one right now is looking like it's going to be the main event. International Championship. Orange Cassidy at 323 days on his road to 1,000 days, defending it against John Moxley. Say it with me, guys. Hashtag Orange Cassidy 1,000 days. That's what I'm going with here. It's freshly squeezed. Sticking with it. The
You didn't give
campaign
us
is
a chance
strong.
to say it.
Yeah, well, I'm going with it. So I'm going with it. Yeah, I would love to see it. I just want to see it. Orange Cassidy pulling the Roman Reigns hitting 1,000 days with the international championship.
Be the laziest celebration ever.
I would
They would
freaking love it.
they would like throw a streamer.
You talk about long-term booking. This is where you get it right now, for sure. So, Mike, what about you?
I'm going to pick Orange Cassidy,
Okay.
even though I 100% think I'm going to be wrong. But I have to genocide this with Orange Cassidy because, again, I've said this and I didn't realize how long this has lasted because you said now it's at 320 something days.
Yeah.
This has been such an incredible run with this title. These matches, they've done such an amazing job of like, he's tired, he's beat up. There's no way he kicked out of Penta's package pile driver tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's set up for Moxley to take it from him, but
Yeah.
I can't choose that. I've got to go Cassidy because he's deserved it, and he's put on one of the most amazing runs. I'm sorry if there's people out there who don't like his character or think he's too funny. Watch the matches, man. What he's put on and what he's done with this reign has been one of the best things in wrestling in the last 10, 15 years. It's too good.
Yeah, to me, pointing out just the comedy, saying it's like that makes you keep taking it seriously. It just to me that's like saying if you want to harken back to something more, like in even the like 20 years ago when Christian and Edge were doing all their comedy skits. It didn't mean they couldn't wrestle. They just meant that they were naturally hilarious. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle, everyone remembers the I'm a man who loves to
play with boys. No, Ray, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
I didn't mean that. Shut up. Shut up.
You're a man. I'm a man. You're a boy. Wait, no.
I'm gonna love to manhandle. No. So yeah, that's like saying Kurt Angle can't wrestle because he's also hilarious. So no, Cassidy can wrestle. Look at his matches when he actually. Okay, anyone says they can't wrestle, they've never tried to do a kip up without your hands.
Hands in your pockets, yeah.
With your hand, that is one of the most difficult things to do with your hands. Without it, that's
shit.
Really
a suicide dive with your hands in your pockets for crying through the ropes, you know. So I mean,
talking about trusting your opponent.
Yeah, for sure.
Tommy, what are you picking?
I'm picking Orange Cassidy
Damn
with no confidence in the world whatsoever, and it's kind of the thing with the Shibata Kingston thing. I could be wrong, but I refuse to go against Orange right now because like I feel like he's in the same vein as Chad Gable, and what I mean by that is their run lately has just been amazing, but it gets lost in the shuffle. But when you really look at what they've been doing, it's pretty awesome. Chad Gable got what's her name over, and everyone thought she would just be Maxine Dupree. Yeah, but like look at all the stuff that they did with the Alpha Academy, and that stuff is so entertaining. And I'm like, why are we talking about this more? Yeah. This stuff is hilarious. Yeah, I feel like just with Chad, Orange has been secretly been like the benchmark. I feel like this conversation people are gonna have in like 10, 20 years. It's like, yeah, the MJF stuff was awesome, and I'm not necking that anyway. But did you notice what Orange Cassidy was doing that entire time? I feel like that's the conversation we're going to be having in like 10 years.
Right. So All Out is Sunday, September 3rd, this Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. The buy-in starts at 6 o'clock, taking place in the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, and will be on Bleacher Report for $50. I believe some movie theaters and some Dave & Buster's locations are also going to be showing this event too as well. I'm pretty sure they'll be charging, obviously the movie theater will, but I'm sure Dave & Buster's might have a cover charge to go with it as well. I'm not sure. But you can kind of Google search, see what you can find there. Usually there's like a couple theaters in town that'll show this as well if you want to be able to make that trip, make the drive out there, just party with fellow wrestling fans too. So
I real quick, I double checked. Orange Cassidy has had 31 successful title defenses since he won that belt.
Amazing.
31. That's insane. I think that's more than Roman altogether, honestly.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
I just want him when he's getting to 1,000 days to have a long, elaborate entrance like Roman Reigns, which would still just be chill as fuck. Just to be so great. So
I want it to be a long entrance, but he's asleep.
yeah.
They wake him up. Like,
Sue brings him out with the best friends van.
Yeah.
They have to like wake him up and get him out of the SUV.
Wing whatever from wherever.
All right, and time to move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
I do.
All right.
And I'm going to try to share my screen one more time.
All right, I'll wait till you're ready then to
So
share that.
let me see if I can do this right.
Let me talk to you.
All right, hold on. Can I? There we go. Okay.
Ready? Here we go.
Do y'all see it?
You see it now?
So last Friday, Tommy and I had the chance to sit down with Black Swan, who we met through Mission Pro Wrestling. As we know, we were super excited when JP Harlow announced that he was having an open casket match, and then she was the one who answered it. So if you're looking at this picture right now, first of all, you can see me and Tommy's face. And no, that picture that's in front of you was not there when we were doing the interview. Shout out to our main man, Ted, the master of the geeks, who put this together in the edit. So if you, again, I tweeted or X'd or whatever out this picture earlier this week and said, do you want to know why there's a cowboy rock here? Watch the interview. And I'm going to say the same thing. Go back. First of all, in all seriousness, and you know, Tommy and I have said this, she is the nicest, coolest, easiest going person. We had such a blast. The interview's almost an hour. We wound up talking to her for like a little over 2 hours that evening before and after the interview, and it was just a good time. But yeah, so you see The Rock, you see the googly eyes, the cowboy hats, the boots. It's JP. If you want to know what it all means, watch the interview. And Brian, if you're watching this or if you go back and watch this later, we need to talk to you about some things for October's Mission Pro show. Because there may be some things we need to bring in or see what we can do.
I got to hit up Dollar Tree.
Please do not do a bring your rock to the show match. That's just going to get thrown in the ring. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Well,
just don't start doing that.
there you go, Ted. We see in the chat, buddy. That was one of your best jobs ever for editing. You're a beast, man.
Yo,
Bernsey, what the deuce is that?
Bernsey, go watch the interview, bro.
Watch the
You
interview,
gotta watch
Bernsey.
the interview, bro, and you'll know.
All right, Tommy, you got something this week?
Oh yeah, it's just something quick.
All right, ready, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, BOW is now doing sponsorships, and we have all sponsorships open. I think so far 3 talents have been sponsored, but we have plenty open. If you are interested, hit me up on my social medias if you're interested in sponsoring anyone, and then I will forward you. Let me know who you want to sponsor and everything. And I will get you the information, how you do it. It'll vary from wrestler to wrestler, and even some matches can be sponsored. It's entirely. I think it's the entire show from what I understand. But definitely different wrestlers, definitely different matches. But if you're interested, please let me know, or just contact BOW directly, and we can get that going.
All right.
Boom.
Awesome.
And Bernsey says that's a Big 10-4 rubber ducky.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Also, if you just want to sponsor the cameraman, just because, I will take it.
That's not through BOW. That's just through Tommy. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll just give you my cash app. I don't even really care.
All right. It's funny you mentioned sponsorships. Mine kind of relates to that. As some of you may have known, NPW recently just put out their list of sponsorships opportunities. And there's a name on there that appeared, Angel Blue. And why is that relevant today? Because today is Angel Blue's birthday, everybody. Woo! Happy birthday, Angel Blue.
Happy birthday.
I off and on speaking to her messages here and there. Tina and I are pretty close, but we had an interview on here a few years ago during the pandemic. This was when she was pretty much, I want to say she had just come out of surgery, was rehabbing. Was dealing with a lot of stuff and just had a severe injury. And there was a point where it looked like she was never going to wrestle again. And she cleaned herself up, was able to recover from surgery, was doing a lot of CrossFit type, workouts. And surprise, surprise, earlier this year made her return to pro wrestling up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I think this is the first time coming up October 21st, she's going to be wrestling in San Antonio in a long, long time.
Yep.
And all I'll say about this is, one, yes, I'm very excited to see her back in the ring in my hometown. But number two, I need to see who Tommy's gonna yell at harder, Jasmine Allure or Angel Blue.
What if that's the match though? Because it's possible
they team up.
Wait.
Oh no.
Well, hold on. Let me say something here.
Okay.
Although me and Jasmine have a lot of hate, there's a long history between me and Angel Blue, and quite frankly, that's just special to me. So I hate to disappoint Jasmine, but if there's someone I'm going to yell at more, who has a special place in my hatred, it's Angel Blue, because I hate her right here. Right here.
We know she's coming back as a heel. That's the thing. We just never know right now.
I mean, I'm assuming it's got to be heel. She can't be face.
She's done face before. I mean, yeah.
Well, no. Okay, you know what? I take it back. You're right. She will be face until she sees my face, and then all that heels is gonna come right back immediately.
I was thinking about this though when I saw that, and Tommy, I think you reposted a picture or something. I know JC and Tina, you reacted in the chat. At that show, afterwards, it's gonna be you and Tina, oh, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. Tommy's gonna be there. I'm gonna be like, I talk now.
Yeah.
I never really got to know her in the way y'all did. That I wasn't like that back then. So I'd be like, hey, I talk to people now. Nice to meet you. A long time.
we got a lot of memories with Angel Blue. There was a series of shows that she worked in South Padre Island. Tina happened to be at the beach that week. She hung out with us, and it was a lot of fun and stuff like that too. Driving to and from Austin when she was living here for shows and stuff like that too.
Well, my favorite story with her isn't even wrestling related. Well, technically, because it was like yours and Tina's wedding, JC, because we danced with each other because we just thought that was hilarious. How we are so has this vitriol hatred during a show, and she was like, "You want to go out there and dance?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" We were just so stupid together for that whole time. So
I remember that.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I said this before, when I saw her over WrestleMania weekend in Dallas, it was just great to see her. She looked fantastic. She looked like she was doing a lot better. And I've been in contact with her ever since she started, wanting to be sober and everything. And I'm really proud of her. So it's good to see her back wrestling again. Kind of under sad circumstances considering what got her back into it, but I'm really glad to see her. So
and also, before there was those Maddie Rinkowski eyes, Angels had that look like, oh, she gonna mess you up. That she looks vicious. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there. I think Raymond Wong, who's jumped in the chat before, who was like the photographer for ACW at the time. I mean, I think a good 20% of all of his pictures from ACW was of me and Angel Blue doing this at each other, just pointing at each other and yelling to the point where I don't even know what we just said anymore. And if anyone has audio of that. How many times was the?
We can't show it on YouTube, so
they probably can't.
Unless it's posted somewhere.
I feel like we both would get canceled today. Well, we gotta cancel him, but Angel, you were just as bad, so you're canceled.
Look, if people are wondering just how bad could it be, there's a respectful hate relationship between Tommy and Angel Blue. To the point, I remember once after a show, we're hanging out, and Angel just is asking Tommy. They're just laughing at each other about how crazy it gets, and Angel's like, "Look, can I just be really racist with you when I'm doing this? It's funny." But that was ACW at the time. Do you remember that, Tommy?
Yeah. Because I told her I don't care. So because I'll tell you guys this story real quick. It's a quick story. Apparently, I don't want to name the wrestler and get him in trouble. But a wrestler said it wasn't like the worst slur ever. It was just referring to the fact that I have dark skin. And apparently someone said, you can't say that, right? He was like, okay, fine. But then he found me afterwards and said, were you offended? And I said, I was like, no, I thought that was hilarious. I was like, who told you that? I was like, oh, damn it, man. One of the funny things that I hear you can't say anymore. Oh,
yeah.
I hate cancel culture.
So in short, happy birthday, Angel Blue. I'm happy to see you back in the ring. Yes. Can't wait to see you back October 21st at Mission Pro Wrestling. I think this is NPW debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I gotta drink some tea. I gotta drink some tea that night.
I don't think she's been. Well, No, I think you're right. There may, no, I think you're right though.
Because when NPW started, but it was probably
yeah, and I think
dynamic, she was injured.
She wrestled, I think, in Sabotage with Leva Bates. I think was one of the last things.
Yeah, I don't.
She
But
did,
I don't
that
think
wasn't Mission Pro. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think. Let me double check because I'm pretty sure she was like quote unquote retired at that point.
Right, I think you're right.
She had the injury, she had the surgery, and then had to retire.
I think when Mission Pro really got started, there's nothing shown for her Mission Pro. I think when they really got going, by that point she was already retired.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, just
also, JC, bring up that scroll that Ted has there real quick. It's on the.
Oh yeah, I see it here. I've been seeing this. This is what Ted's posting about.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That one right there. You see it? You guys see it?
Oh
no, there
All
it is again.
JP.
See it? It's right there, guys. It's so great. See it? You guys see it? It's so awesome. Oh, there it is again because it's like the best thing ever. See it? See it? I love it so much. It's so much.
And it's going away because I got to do the rest of the show. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. So, again, the shows this weekend: WWE Payback Saturday, September 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Time. Pre-show at 6 on Peacock, and then AEW All Out is Sunday, September 3rd, 7 p.m. Central Time. Pre-show is at 6 o'clock on the buy-in, as they call it, on YouTube, and the main show will be on Bleacher Report, and it'll be $50 for that as well. So, next week we will recap both shows, and also talk about Impact Victory Road. A quick mention of that. So far, nothing announced for that. Like, Impact really has had shows quickly in succession, so it'll be interesting to see what they announce tomorrow night and the following night to see what's going to be happening at Victory Road. I think this is also going to be an Impact Plus event as well, too.
Victory Road, Revenge of the Multi-Person Match.
One of these days, I mean, hey, they had lockdown. Can you just imagine, I don't know, Impact Wrestling all-night scramble?
Every title's on the line in like a 6-person,
and the funny part is they separate out the men and the women, tag team and the tag teams, right? Yeah. And like everyone just has we can't even pick because they have to just draw by numbers. They have to go out.
Oh God.
Oh no, wait. They announce who it is, but they don't announce what number they are, and we still have to pick.
Instead of Night of Champions, Night of Scrambles, right?
Yeah. All right. I feel like that's like Mike's worst nightmare. I feel like he wakes up in a cold sweat thinking about that. Like, oh God, I picked the.
Yeah.
Oh. He's like, oh, it was just a dream.
It used to be The Exorcist, but now it's that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And yeah, we started off all crazy with the freaking show going on nuts with the internet just losing connection.
I did a soft intro. It's cool, man. We got you covered.
I have to go back and watch how it started, but hey, here we are. So we're gonna get out this week. I think next week we're gonna be moving to Thursdays. That's kind of how it's going. The NFL season's upon us, so I'm going to be starting my Sports Minorities podcast again. If you want to listen to that, us talking shit, making NFL picks, that's just what we do. So, but we'll be recording that on Wednesdays, and then we'll be moving the show to Thursdays. I would normally want to move to Tuesdays, but we have a bad habit of every time we do a show on a Tuesday, some new thing comes out on Wednesdays. Like, no.
Yeah, we can't do Tuesdays anymore.
Yeah.
Terry will get mad at me if we do shows on Tuesdays again, because every time we did, something bad would happen to me. If one time something happened right after we finished, something happened. I can't remember what it was. So
anyway, over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Boom.
Have a good weekend.
Adios, Gunther.